Hey, John here again. So I'm sitting at a red light and I go to toot my horn for the fella in front of me, old guy in a hat, because he wasn't turning left even though it was a green light. And my horn stopped working. So I had to sit for another light cycle. So, that being said, I bought some new horns and I just wanted to go through and hook up my new horns. This thing's just a piece of junk. I bought these. These are, so I thought I'd hook them up right quick and see how they sound. Unfortunately, didn't come with much with the directions. After you read the directions, there's a little blurb in here about it's like you need a fucking magnifying glass. You can't even see it. Something about a voltage drop. You know, to wire them, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it is like microscopic. I can't even read it. But a relay is supposed to be added. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, that's where I mounted them. They're not active yet because I have to wire them. But I thought it looked cool there. They do look cool, I think. Anyways, so that's where they're mounted. I got to take that grill back off of there and wire these things up. I got a few ideas, but let me set a tripod up right quick, see if I can get this wired up so we can hear what they sound like. This is where I'm gonna, I already mounted them, and you know, now I'm gonna do the wiring, but look what I found over here. So I'm looking for a place to, you know, grab some power from, because I don't want to use, you know, the battery or even that guy, you know, which little battery terminal block. You can use the jump. There's a ground there. You know, I don't want to really wires exposed, so I took this booger off. See if I can get into here. And what I found was this area right here had all this crap jammed in there from the little goddamn mices. And look where they grabbed it from. Goddamn varmints. So I cleaned that up, and then I'm looking. Look at these wires. Bastards. I mean, I tugged on them, they're still intact, but I gotta repair these wires now. It's a good thing I looked at it. Where was I? So I think I'm gonna use this guy here. I'll mount it to the firewall somewhere. That'll work. And I've got an assortment of wires that I keep, you know, anytime I do a project, I'll just, like I think this harness came off of, I think a washer or a dryer, but it's got nice thick wires, you know, so I keep a lot of this crap, and, you know, I'll figure something out, but let me get this mounted up, and then start running wires and doing that. So, where were we? Ideally, you know, to repair these wires first. Here's where I'm going to put the relay. But because this sits under that guy, it's pretty protected. So this is not the ideal way to do it with this this kind of connector. I'd want waterproof ones, but I don't have any. So what I did was I did the one underneath here, this one. So I do have shrink wrap, heat wrap, shrink wrap, whatever the fuck. So I put a couple of these green ones over. They just happen to be green for that size, but I don't really have a smaller size, so this will work. But put one over there, and then before I crimp that on, let me do this first. Just got to protect, you know, don't burn any wires up in the meantime. Take a little heat, lighter, whatever you got. Melt that one. Alright. Then, I mean, like I said, this is all protected anyway. I just wanted to cover them bare wires. So then I'll take this guy, which will fit over that. Come on, fella. right? So I'll crimp this. Get this guy in here first. I'll crimp this onto that, right, and then slide this guy over once it's crimped, and melt everything. So I can't do it one-handed, but that's the plan. Like I was saying, it's going to use this this harness from I think it's a washer or dryer, whatever it's from. Nice thick wire. I started wiring these up, but then I remembered I got a winch that I never used that had some harnesses and some other shit off a small engine crap, you know. I found these anyways, this is what I found. Look at this. This is gonna work perfect. That is a relay with, it's not the thickest wire, but I like it. This is gonna work. Unfortunately, this is a 5-pin, but I don't care about that. This middle pin, it's not gonna be used anyways, but it'll work for what I gotta do. I'm thinking, you know, okay, I'll mount it where I was going to originally, right? And then run a power wire to one of these guys. Maybe here. I mean, this is where my amp is here, so I'll probably run it to this guy. And probably this guy. And then you can ground it anywhere. Oh, by the way, if you're working on your vehicle, electrical, unhook your goddamn battery. I mean, you know, with all these exposed wires, especially them repairs I did, you could fry your computer real easy. So be aware of that. But so anyways, I found this harness. This is gonna work great. And then I found a couple other pieces like this is an. I'll put a inline fuse. Maybe this one of them. A little extra protection, but so that's where I'm at right now. I'm just going from this horn to this horn. Then I'll wire some, like I said, this harness. I'll figure it out. I'll come through somewhere. This is the little, I gotta come all the way over here for this. This is, see these little puny wires? That's for the original horn. So I'll have to get in there and, you know, wire something up for that to get over to that. Relay switch, but I'll figure that out. I'll run it, you know, somewhere under here because I want to run it. You know, I gotta keep in mind, like, look at this condenser. It's all shit. Look, it's missing all the fins, so I'm gonna have to replace that. It's probably why I can't keep Freon in my. Every year I gotta charge it up. I didn't notice that till now, so I probably have to change out this condenser. So I do want to have it, you know, located on, I don't want to permanently, you know what I mean, just in case I got to take something apart. So I'll just put it on this, this little A-frame deal. But I just noticed that today, that's a bummer. Alright, so I just finished wiring it up. A couple things I got. Number one, this is a lot of work for nothing. You know, this is your existing horn wires. So, you know, they go over to, you know, up through here, up to this relay. I didn't button everything up yet, I will in a second, but I just wanted to go over some things. So, I use this stud here for battery positive, right? Ran the wire over, snaked it through, and there's the relay. So it goes to one side of the relay there. The other side of the relay is, you know, like I said, going down to the horns. I just attached it. I put this little conduit on here to protect everything to the hood cable, because it had, you know, brackets and whatever. So came down here, split it here just because these go to the horns, obviously, and the other side snakes around there and goes to the horn switch. Now it turns out, and I didn't know this, that there's another horn down below here. How do I know that? I don't know. I looked up a wiring diagram. It's dual horns, and I'm like, well, maybe not this vehicle. So I'm like, well, let me look. You can't see it. It's in there. Trust me. I found it. But what are the odds of maybe that horn was bad from the get-go and it was just working on this horn? I don't know, because I had no horn. So it's dual horns. Was it the circuit that was, you know, I tested the circuit. Everything checks out fine. I can't dig that horn out of there because it's just buried deep. But I'm assuming it's like this fella here, just rusted. Good old New England rust, you know. It stopped working. So I probably just had one horn. And that other horn I'm not going to worry about. So these, well, what I was getting at, all this wiring, is it necessary? Can you use your existing wire for your existing horn? Yeah, absolutely. But the directions, you know, they're kind of weak directions. We're talking about voltage drop. Put a relay in. I really don't think it's necessary. You know, there's a horn relay already, a horn fuse already, you know. Why would you need all this extra relays and all this wiring? You don't. But I put it in there just because in the future, you know, as I was thinking about it, I'm going to have to take and replace this. I was pointed out earlier, this condenser's had better days. So now all this shit's in a way. I don't know if this comes out, you know, if you could slide it one way or the other, or all this bracket shit has to come off. You know, I don't know. I don't know if this piece has, you know, whatever. When it comes time to doing that, I'll figure that out. But now all this wiring is there. But I did it this way because a friend of mine has cool LED lights in his grill. So if I do decide to do that, at least all the wiring for the relays there, and I'll use the existing horn, you know, just the way it was factory. So I'll leave the wiring there in case I do use it. But I just did test it. I'll button all this up in a second, but I just wanted to show, you know, this is probably the hardest part of the whole job, putting that stupid relay in that location. I just wanted it there because, and that might be a mistake, because once this gusset goes back in there, you know, one day I'll be looking for that relay, maybe a week or two from now after it rusts. But I did protect it as best I could, and I don't think it's going to get any water in here. Although a mouse, he was living here, so he'll probably attack that next week. So it probably is a bad location, but once I put everything on like this guy goes over like so, you know, pops down in place. I'm not going to pop it in yet, I got to look at some stuff. And once that gusset goes over there, I think it's pretty good protection. It won't get any water in there anyways. But that being said, like I said, if something does go wrong, I can always use the existing, and especially I can get the wiring down there, use, because it was dual horns to begin with, I can use one for each side. But everything's wired up, and this is what it sounds like. It's pretty loud, but kind of not the traditional sound from a GMC truck. So there you have it. I'll take another shot once everything's put together. And the only reason I did this is because, I mean, look at them horns. They say right on the package, extra 20 horsepower, 10 per horn, right? I think it looks okay. So let me button this up and make sure everything's all right. Vehicle starts, blah blah blah. I got everything buttoned up. It's pretty much end result there. So all for horns. So you can't see any wiring here, obviously. This is a little bit of wiring here hidden on there. Told you once that gusset's on, you're not going to see anything, and it is down there, that underneath there. So everything's pretty well hidden. And like I said, all for horns, a relay, and all this. You didn't really need it, but like I said, if I ever had LED lights or something in the front grille, at least I'll have I already have it wired for that. Anyways, that's all I got for now. So that being said, let's see what they sound like. probably just woke up the neighborhood. Well, so that's all I got for now. 2 hella horns. Good to go.